Hello Virgo, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Virgo for the middle of June. Now Virgo, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. I do not offer personal readings and I will not send you a message on any platform, so do not get scammed. Go ahead and see what we have in this bonus mid-monthly update for you here, Virgo. I would ask that you hit the like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. There's also a link out to my Instagram in the description below if you'd like to give me a follow there. I also have a list of the tarot and oracle decks that I use in my readings if you'd like to check that out and buy one for yourself. All right, so let me make sure everything is set up and in view here. Go ahead and take 3 cards to clarify as we go along. Then we'll also take 3 of these Kipper cards here. All right, Virgo, energy on the bottom. You have the Justice card. So the Justice card is really a balanced energy. It's an energy of balance, harmony, and kind of divine law and order, okay? You can see the scales here on the card, indicating that the karmic scales are balancing out and tipping in one direction or the other. And with that, the Justice card does say that at the end of the day, all parties get the outcome that they truly deserve. When you think about karma, you should start thinking about karma as this idea of the accumulation of the actions that you take. That's what karma is, okay? And this Justice card is sort of balancing out, the scales here are balancing out and weighing your actions or your karma here. And so the question is, when you get the Justice card, are you kind of taking appropriate action? Are you kind of maintaining the highest frequency that you can for yourself? And if you can say yes to both of those questions, then not only do you have nothing to worry about, but the Justice card can reward you and say that that outcome that you truly deserve is coming. So let's see what this might be about here. It's also Libra energy, just by the way, Virgo. Some of you may be dealing with a Libra. So yeah, let's just go ahead and dive in here. So in the current situation, you have the World card. So Justice number 11, it's literally the halfway point. There are actually 22. This is the last major arcana, but there are 22 major arcanas because the Fool is 0. And so there is this interesting, I don't know why I just felt like cutting that. It's like you're cutting it in half, right? You're at the halfway point. 11 plus 11 is 21 here. Or sorry, 22, math. But yeah, so it's almost like, you know that song, like You're Halfway There or whatever by Bon Jovi? It always comes in my readings, and for whatever reason, it's coming in again at this time. It's like, I feel like for a long time you've been halfway there, and now you're completing it. The world represents the completion of a cycle. It says that you have gone through a major journey, all the way through to the Justice card, all the way through all of the other major arcanas, and you have completed this huge hero's journey that you've been on in your life. It is also Saturn energy. Saturn is in retrograde, and that's nothing to be concerned about. It's interesting because Saturn really just rewards you for kind of having good time management practices, having a sort of healthy schedule and a routine that you stick to. And in doing those sorts of things, you can really get the Saturn rewards, right? And so remember, I talked about how this Justice card is about your action that you're taking within the world. Well, it's like you've taken good action and you're now seeing the results. The world can also just represent big results because it is the final card. And so you're seeing the completion here. In the problem position, you have the Two of Pentacles. And so the Two of Pentacles, you can see this person here. There's sort of this is another card of weighing options and decisions here, or weighing, as you can see the scales energy weighing. And so this can also say that some of you are maybe juggling tasks and priorities, kind of trying to keep all the plates or all the pentacles in the air. it can bring about a change in your financial situation, and by default, it is a good change. I would say that it's probably more likely to be a good change, even though it's in the problem position, because it's combined here with the World, which again is a very positive card of success and sort of results. But it's almost like for some of you here, maybe it's like getting the change off the ground is the problem, right? And so I don't feel like the problem is that you're losing money or you're losing out. I feel like it's getting off the ground is probably more sort of like in alignment here, because we've been talking about actions and just rewards type of deal. And so hopefully that makes sense. In the past, yeah, I mean, you have the Nine of Pentacles here. You've been doing something good for yourself here. The Nine of Pentacles is a major card of financial independence. This can also be Virgo energy, by the way. But the Nine of Pentacles is just about your independence generally as a person, but typically about your financial independence, right? And so if we're looking here, you can see with this Two of Pentacles in the problem position, to kind of just go back to what I was talking about here, it's like, you're getting a just outcome. You're getting the results that you deserve. And now you recognize that there's a change coming, or that you need to make a change, because we've been talking about the Two of Pentacles indicating a financial change or a change generally. But maybe it's like this, getting the change off the ground is something that is maybe a little bit challenging here. Again, I don't feel like this is loss. And in fact, what could be kind of happening here is one cycle is completing and now this new cycle is beginning. And it's like recognizing that you're starting from ground zero, or you're starting from the beginning, is maybe a little bit daunting. And I would say just allow things to sort of happen and kind of unfold as they need to unfold in the universe, and just allow, the good karma that you've accumulated based on your actions to sort of stack up and really help you out in your favor. In the future, you have the Ten of Swords. There is completion energy here. The Ten of Swords is some sort of conflict or defeat in one's life, and it does say that there's something that's genuinely over. I think that this is about the cycle that we've been talking about with this World card, something completely being done, dead, over with, or there's almost like with the Ten of Swords, it's like finality. The way to, it's like something is totally completed. And so you can look at it in a positive way, or you can look at it in a negative way. It depends, pick your poison, right? Positive or negative. And the reality is you have two major completions here with the World and the Ten of Swords. This is one of these readings where I don't feel like, where it's like I don't want to even drag it out unnecessarily, because it just seems like confirmation after confirmation here. So on your thoughts, or on your mind, on your conscious awareness here, you do have the Page of Cups. You could be thinking about somebody. Page of Cups is like potentially somebody that you dream about. Some of you, particularly if you're single, which you might be, because you have this Nine of Pentacles here in the past, and a love reading, Nine of Pentacles would be more about a single type of energy here. Some of you could be thinking about the potential that you have between with you and another person, or some of you could just be thinking about love generally. Maybe you're just hoping to potentially find a relationship in the future here. That could certainly be heavy on some of your minds. There could also be an offer that you've received that is sort of staying in your mental space at this time as well here with this Page of Cups. It's possible that this offer could have been love, but it could also be something relating to your financial change that we've been talking about. Maybe you've received an offer where that could maybe lead to additional happiness in your life, but it means completing the sort of like closing out the chapter of where you are now. Closing chapters are ultimately necessary, but also ultimately very kind of bittersweet and challenging. And it's almost like for some of you here, it's like there's been this offer, whether it's in love or it's in work or it's in some other life, where you got to close the other chapter, which we see you doing here for sure with the Ten of Swords in the World, but it's a little bit bittersweet. Now, in the subconscious situation, what you can't see or the hidden, you do have this Six of Cups energy. Six of Cups is like memories of love, memories of the past. It can also represent the past life, your past life energy, the contracts that you've kind of come into this life with. And the Six of Cups can also be the feeling of home, or the feeling, it can be like what is familiar to you. And I think that that is really kind of in alignment with this reading, where there's something here that has been familiar for a very long time, and that cycle is closing out. Okay, and so this is not doom and gloom. This is about a bittersweet. This is a bittersweet energy here, where it's like there's a little bit of sadness that this chapter is closing out, but there's also a lot of optimism here on the potential of what could be for you in the future. Now, in the staff, in the direction that you are headed, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you do have this Eight of Pentacles energy here. So Eight of Pentacles is really somebody who is a hardworking person. This is somebody who is studious. This is somebody who is really, most importantly, talented. Okay, this is the biggest card of talent in the tarot. You can see that this person's grinding away here, wrapping up their latest creation. There are other creations here hanging up on the ceiling above them, and they are fulfilled in whatever it is that they do, right? And so this is like a gift, skill, talent, or ability that really keeps them fulfilled and keeps them well provided for. Also a card that can indicate good movement forward or positive developments in work and in life. And again, it's like bittersweet, right? You're getting these good developments, you're getting these positive energies and these positive situations here, but you also recognize that there's a change coming. And with this good movement, with these positive things coming into your life, you also recognize that, yes, that also means that cycles need to close out and chapters need to end for new chapters to begin, right? On top of that here, in the external influence, you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is a change. The Wheel of Fortune is a major card of change, okay? Now, I love this card for you here because this is Jupiter energy. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, of luck, of opportunity, of growth, of optimism. And Wheel of Fortune can bring all of those sorts of things into your life. Okay, it says that the wheel of your destiny has spun in your direction and that your destiny is sort of kind of put out right in front of you here for you to see. Now the thing is, and again, we're seeing a similar narrative sort of build here for yourself here. The Wheel of Fortune says that while your destiny is sort of in front of you and while your favorability is increased, you must take action, okay? You must take advantage of the favorability and the action that you have here. And so again, we talked about how this Justice card says that you get the outcome you deserve based on the actions you've taken. The Wheel of Fortune asks you to take action in order to take advantage of the favorability that you have and to move in the path of your destiny. In the hopes and fears, you have this Five of Wands energy here. Okay, so some of you are a little bit conflict averse, okay? Some of you are a little bit, it's almost like maybe some of you are fear casting, okay? You're anticipating a conflict with somebody here. You're also maybe hoping to win out over some type of competition here. I will say, if this is love related, like if you're thinking about this person here with the Page of Cups and you're wondering, like, is there another person? The reality is that if it's meant to be, it will work out, okay? And I know it's easier said than done, but that's kind of what I feel like saying here. Now, what's very interesting in this reading is in the outcome, you have the Tower, okay? So the Tower is, for many people, they see the Tower and they get fearful, or it's like a feared moment or what have you here. But it's important to understand that the Tower is really a way out of a challenging situation. It's a blessing in disguise. It is absolutely an upheaval. It is absolutely a change. It is absolutely potentially a shock. And, maybe even a bit of a trauma, although I don't know that this is a trauma for you. But what the Tower does create is a blessing in disguise within your life, because ultimately the Tower leads you to the Star. Ultimately, the Star eventually leads you to the world, which we see you having here. It leads you to completing something. And so you cannot plan for Tower moments. Tower moments just kind of happen in your life. And it's a matter of sort of, how do you view the world? Are you a glass half full or are you a glass half empty person? And, I would place a bet that almost everybody who's gone through a Tower moment, at the end of it, they look back and they say to themselves, actually, this was one of the best things that happened to me because it put me on the path of XYZ, especially as you have this Destiny card here. Let's go ahead and see what else we have here. So you have the Fool, the Death card, and the Queen of Cups. So it is interesting because remember, I talked about how you're at the beginning of this reading. It's like for some of you here, the idea of starting from zero, right here, zero, the Fool, is a little bit daunting. Well, that's what I think it is. I think some of you have completed something big, and it's like the world keeps spinning. Okay, you know, new chapters are always being written, right? And it's like you may have read one chapter, but this new chapter is available, and the world keeps spinning, the world keeps going. And I think that that's what this is kind of, some of you are maybe dealing with here. You know, the Death card is not about death and dying, it's about transformations in one's life. It's about completely changing your situation or yourself. And the Queen of Cups asks you to take care of yourself at this time as you go through the changes. You have pathway, adjudication, and sudden wealth. This is incredible because this pathway card is really, really quite good. Okay, this is your true north. Okay, this is a destiny card. This is what you're supposed to be doing in your lifetime. You have it with the other destiny card here, and you have it with the Wheel of Fortune, and you have it with the Eight of Pentacles as well. Adjudication, very, very similar to the Justice card. It is legal situations, the Justice card and the Adjudication card. I do wonder if some of you are dealing with that. And then you also here have the Sudden Wealth card, which the Sudden Wealth card does just bring bonuses, when you're least expecting it, or just a sudden turnaround in luck. I'm not suggesting that money's going to fall out of the sky, but I am suggesting that there is an increase in your favorability here showing up in the reading, if this reading is for you, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Sudden Wealth card, and the increase is happening because you've taken appropriate action. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.